Hello and welcome to my channel on Ancient and Chinese Astrology. I am professional astrologer Zagata from the website 100%astrology.com, and I would like to make a video about a great traditional astrology software that's even free. It's called Morinus. So I will make a full tutorial on how to download, install, and how to configure the settings of this extremely useful astrological program. So let's get started. This is the website of Morinus. I'll be providing links in the description. And Morinus has a modern version and a traditional version. They originally started, I mean, it's pretty much the same, but with slight differences. They originally started with by including the modern planets Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, and then in their later versions, when they improved the program, they removed those planets because this is traditional astrology. But my tutorial will be about the traditional version. But again, the modern version is. The program is exactly the same. It's just the traditional version is slightly improved, and I'll be showing that. So those of you that still would like to use Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, they would be downloading the modern version. So let's get started. So traditional version, and we scroll down here, and so here it is. We download this file here. And then when we download it, we save it wherever we want on our desktop, and here it is. And then we extract the file, and this is it, folks. So this is the program. This is the application, the exe file. Now what's great about this program is that it's open source, meaning this software, if you have programming abilities, you can check the code, you can change the code, etc. As long as you can do it. So this is the software, and now we open it. And so let's first it's easier when we load the chart. So here, so it load. This is Morinus. By the way, speaking of let me close. Speaking of, to pay my respects to Morinus, this is the greatest French astrologer. He lived in the 17th century. He was one of the last traditionalists, although he really modified the tradition. But anyhow, I respect him a lot. I have his books. He wrote 26 books. He was a royal physician, and he was also a professor of mathematics at the University of Paris, France. And he was also obviously a very adept astrologer, and he predicted many things. He got famed, etc. Unfortunately, I mean, it's his chart, his life, his fate. He had a packed 12th house of secret enemies, and he was the busiest. Actually, this is the chart, the busiest house, and well, this is not showing it correctly. Let me show the whole sign houses. And he had, as you see, 5 planets in the 12th house. And Cardinal Richelieu was his greatest enemy, and it wasn't until the death of Richelieu that Morin himself got the honors and recognition that he deserved, etc. etc. So let's get started. First, let's configure the software. Now, this is very important to press automatic save. To hold it. Okay, so it's automatic save. Let me close the software and open it again. Do we have automatic save? Yes, we do. Then languages. The program supports English, Russian, and French. I can deal with English or Russian. I'll be dealing with Russian. Sorry, with English, because I did a video with the Russian settings in my native Bulgarian language. So this, let's get started. So first, appearance. Actually, let me open the chart so we can see how it changes. So appearance, I would rather have it black and white. So you can have show data and not show data. So when we press it like this, first it will become black and white, and then it will there will be no data here. But let's have the data here. If we want to see but you know, let's leave it like that. Let's first deal with the settings. We don't need to. This is astronomical stuff. It's useful, but it's not for astrological purposes, basically, because the program is calculating everything. The dignities. This is the traditional version, so there can be. I mean, there can be no ambiguities here. Minor dignities. Dorothean. Yes, sure, definitely only Dorothean. Triplicities, trigons, then the terms, the bounds, the confines. Egyptian, yes, definitely. Let's have a quick check whether they're correct. Yes, 6 8 6 6 6 5 7 6 7 6 6 7 4 6 5 7 6 6 7 10 4. I know them by heart, so I can. That's why I don't need to use them in the. I don't need to see them in the. Yes. Yes, that's correct. 5 yes. 7 7 8 4 4 7 6 7 5 5 12 4. Yes, they're correct. I can confirm, because a small difference here. Because as you see, you can change it here. You can change the value, and we don't want to do that. Next. Sorry, this for the bounds, and then the decans. I don't use the decans as a dignity, so it's I use them like this for physiognomy and for rectification also. The triplicities. So these are the Oriental triplicities. Okay, and then so-called almutens, victors. Again, this is not gonna. This has to do with. There are two types of victors, topical for any topic, and I don't recommend you use them at all. And this was a bad innovation on the part of Arabic astrologers. And also, you can use them for the victor or the ruler of the chart. There are two types. I mean, two versions, two formulas: the ancient one, the Hellenistic one, and the Perso-Arabic one. Initially, I used this because Robert Zoller teaches it, and he was my primary teacher. But then I switched to the other version because I find it much more accurate. But the point here is that by changing these settings, whether you're using one ruler or three rulers, Zoller taught to use three rulers. Whether you're using the day, whether you're assigning 7 points to the day lord and 6 points to the hour lord, it will change the end result, and also the. Whether you're using, whether you're assigning these points to the house placements of the planets, and whether you're using quadrant house or whole sign house, it will change. Also, as you see here, whether you're using exaltation for Mercury and Virgo as well, not just domicile. So again, I'm not gonna next for the topical here. As I said, I'm not gonna bother here, but for. And also, I should say that here for the ruler of the chart, there are different. There are two editions of Ibn Ezra's books of Jewish astrologer, 11th century astrologer, and he there's in one edition these hour and day are skipped, I believe, and there are differences in the editions of the translations. I mean of the book. So again, this will give you different results. You'd have to have a detailed table that includes all these. Changes. Anamsha, we're not interested in that. Those that use the sidereal zodiac, I've made a video here about the Babylonian zodiac being inaccurate. The Babylonian Anamsha, meaning Aldebaran 15. I don't recommend it. Or you can also call it Fagan Bradley or Aldebaran. I would recommend Lahiri or Krishnamurti. For those that use the sidereal, even though it's the Western tradition, so-called, it's Eastern tradition, but anyhow, yeah, in my video here I showed a real-life example of and it's a client of mine. I've rectified the chart to the second, and the Babylonian Ayanamshi is showing a different ascendant. It's a borderline ascendant, meaning In Aldebaran it's one ascendant, in Lahiri it's another. 29 versus 0 degrees. Next, colors. Yes, you can change the colors here. You can, for example, in some of the versions I like to paint the malefics Saturn and Mars with red, and the benefics Jupiter and Venus with blue, for example, just as an example. Background, let's see. Next, colors, house systems. Yes, I'll stick with house and houses for now. Notes, I use the mean note. Definitely the traditional astrologers use the mean note. The true note is not actually a true note, it's also an approximation, and it makes a big difference whether you use a mean note or a true note. In there are horoscopes where they're in different images, signs, and I mean it's a completely different delineation. Orbs, I'm not gonna bother here. I don't use this software for orbs. So fix stars. This is crazy. 3. There's no such thing as 3. If we're gonna be using stars, it's 1 degree. Next, primary directions. Yes, this software calculates primary directions correctly. It's actually, they should not be called primary directions. This is a misnomer, rather. They should be called distributions or circumambulations, because if because historically this over the past 300 years or 400 years they started some astrologers, for example Morinus, he threw away the bounds, and actually let's first configure the settings. This should be Placidus, which is Ptolemy. In other words, this should be zodiacal, never mundane, and we have options for, I'm gonna leave it like this with no latitude, although you can include both latitudes, etc. And also not gonna bother with the notes, and here the significators I'm using the traditional, I mean almost always the traditional, so just these 5s, and not even the syzygy, the prenatal lunation. And okay, and so if we leave it like this, click OK, and then go to F12 for primary, primary directions, Control and plus F12, and then if we go direct or converse of both, let's go direct 0 to 25, we will see that the program gives us the so-called primary directions. In other words, it gives us only what is properly called the partner, the ray, the body or ray of the planets. For all the significators, again, you can this is showing all 5. You can direct just the ascendant, but the proper way to do it is by choosing here terms, and then OK, so that now it will be distributing the terms, the bounds. So you have, this is what we call the distributor, the most important planet, the most important planet that rules the times. It's incorrectly called Time Lord. It's ruler of the times. We have many times in the life of the native, and this ray here, this, well, it's still Venus. So this sextile of the sun is what later came to be called primary direction. So this is the partner. Don't please use the correct language, because it's really important, because if you're using just primary directions, you are not using the tradition correctly. All astrologers save Ptolemy said that the distributor, the planet that's ruling the bounds of the directed significator, is the most important planet, whereas the partner comes secondary. And we also have a gradation of the partner. The conjunction it's not an aspect. The conjunction is the body is the most important, is the most powerful. Then comes the opposition, the square, the trine, and the sextile is last. Okay, here we have a nice module for, but let's not get ahead of ourselves, because we need to configure the primary key. So you see the default here is Nibot. I use Ptolemy. I find it much more accurate, although the differences are small, but it's either Ptolemy or Nibot. Cardanian user defined as I mean, it's too far off. So Ptolemy for me, and but I should say that what's going on here? I've been what happened here? Let's close this. I've been using this program for more than 10 years, and I have my own. I have configured it the way I want it, and I'm just showing this from scratch, playing with the settings, etc. Primary keys, primary directions, lots. Extremely useful feature of this software is that you can add lots. Let's just I will show CZG. Yes, we use the moon, not the Ptolemy in modification, etc. Some other astrologers, we use it as it is. Fixed stars, very useful. This software is one of very few softwares that allows you to ignore that these placements here are for 1950. That's okay, but when you calculate them in a chart, it will show you. It will account for the precision and give you the longitude. Of course, if you're using a sidereal zodiac, you don't need to concern yourselves with precision. The point here is that this actually it should be the same as the yes, 892 stars, folks. I can't think of many other softwares that, even professional ones, that offer that many stars. And for example, when yes, let me say that I have. You can this folder here, the installed folder where the program is. You can copy this folder and send it to a friend of yours, astrologer or whoever. And of course, as long as you respect, the personal data of clients. I mean, for celebrities, for public figures, that's fine. But for clients, don't do that, obviously. And the point is that you can copy this folder, and it will copy all the settings that you have done after you save them with automatic save. When you copy the folder, it will copy all the settings for lots, for rulers of the times, for colors, for appearance, for everything. Extremely helpful. And so the point is that with stars, there is and also with lots, there is you can have up to 40 lots. With fixed stars, let's see, I believe you have 40 stars or 50 stars, and they're 892. So you can't use them all, and you don't need them all. The point is that there are some stars traditionally that kill, so to say, that signify death, and there are stars that signify blindness. There are stars that signify royal power or wealth or lands or property. There are stars that signify lust, even wanting to have sex with animals and being mad with lust, etc. And you can't have all the stars that I mentioned. I mean, and I have and also if you want to research stars, so I have so this folder, after I have selected, let's say 40 or 50 stars, so you see here it says left to select 10 stars, and I can copy the folder, and then it will keep my settings, and then I will select other stars, and then I will copy the folder, and then I have let's say 4 or 5 folders with about 200 stars, different stars, and when I open the folder, I have all the settings except for the stars, and when I want, and it will show me. And also so stars, Profections, yes, always use zodiacal annual Profections. They're very except for, I believe, Ibn Ezra, Rumen Kolev, Bulgarian astrologer, and others. I'm not possibly the Italians also, they use Placidian. It's wrong, folks. The traditional way is to use zodiacal Profections. Don't. Okay, next, Firdaria, very extremely helpful technique. Use the Bonatti sequence for nocturnal charts, not the Al-Biruni. Actually, this should be Abu Mashar. I wrote an article. Let's see, when we go to blog, when we go down to search, when we see Firdaria, I wrote an article a few years ago about yes, this one, the nocturnal Firdaria sequence Bonatti versus Abumashar, and I explained here that Abumashar was wrong, Bonatti was right. For the nocturnal sequence, we put the nodes between Mars and the Sun, and I showed an extremely impressive example. But obviously, I'm not the only astrologer. Bonatti was the first Robert Zoller and his students. I'm also a student of Zoller Regulus Astrology, and those practically oriented astrologers that don't just parrot the tradition. I've been using this technique for over 10 years, and I have many nativities where, again, very telling nativities that paint putting the nodes after at the end of the sequences with the Urno charts is simply doesn't work. Okay, next, Firdaria, the default location. That's great. We can put a default location. Let's say my location, Russia, Bulgaria. It's 2558 east longitude and 4351 north latitude. It's GMT +2. Altitude is 30 meters. I'm on the river Danube, the second longest river in Europe. Default location. Yes, it's automatic save. Menu selection. What's that? Yeah, you can. They have included everything for the menu selection. Next languages, I showed you that. Okay, so let's close that here. Let's close the chart and let's add a chart. So let me open my software, Delphic Oracle, and I'll be adding the chart of Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, his former wife, so we can have a male and a female, and I'll be also adding the lots. I mean, 2-3 lots to show you that. Okay, so let's go with whole sense. So Brad Pitt. So we go here and then we go to new. What I love about Morinus is that you have these short keys, the hotkeys that you can, so Control and N, and you have, so Brad Pitt, he's a male, so it's a radic chart, it's not a solar return, lunar return, etc. transit. He's a male, 1963, the 12th month, 18th of December. It's 6:31. This is, by the way, this program is not AM or PM, it's a 24-hour. And now one of the minuses, so to say, of this software is of Morinus is that it doesn't have an atlas. I mean, it has an atlas, but it's very limited, and you have to input the locations. That's fine. You get familiarized with menu locations this way. So the thing about it is that when you use the program regularly, you keep adding locations, and very soon you end up with a few hundred locations at least, and it's helpful. So I'm not gonna bother with Shawnee because, I mean, Oklahoma, let's get real, it's what is it, it's mid-United States, it's so Shawnee, so this Indian spelling, Shawnee, Oklahoma, United States. So it's GMT, so it's minus because it's Western Greenwich, -6, and then the coordinates 96.55, and then the latitude is 35. I'm gonna round it to 20 because it's, yes, so -6, add, here it is, and then we click OK, here it is, and then here when we want to calculate the chart we press OK. That's the chart. Oh, something's off. You see, I made a mistake, I apologize. The longitudes, it's west of Greenwich, not let's see, data. You see, here it should be west. I'm gonna have to change the let's go with, you see, that's it, it's I'm gonna delete that, I'm gonna do it again. Shawnee, Oklahoma. You see, you have to be careful. It's very easy with programs, but 9655 west, not east, and then what was it? 3520. That's -6. This program is using here it is. Yes, it's west. Okay, this program is using Swiss ephemeris, so it's as accurate as it can possibly be. And let's quickly compare. We have an ascendant of 1154. The moon is at 2250, and here we can press tables, positions, or just F1. 1154. The moon, as you see, is yes, 2250. Absolutely accurate. Of course, again, it's Swiss ephemeris. Now, if you want to save the chart, we go to Save. Here, horoscope save, or just Control and S. Control and S. Brad Pitt. Save. Now, if we want to check how many charts we have, we open our folder. We go to horoscopes, and here it is. Also, what's great about this, what I really like about this software is that unlike some softwares, for example, Delphic Oracle and others, where if you want to save a chart, a horoscope or whatever chart, astrological, you save it to a folder, and this folder is one whole file. Whereas here, all the horoscopes, all the charts are individual. So let's say if for example, in my here is my Morinus here. I always have it here because I use it all the time, and here I have over 1,000 charts. I mean, many clients, many charts I've been studying and researching, rectifications and predictions, what have you, studying their lives, their past, etc. And here, so now you have 2 charts, as you see. But if you want to find the chart, you can go here and just look for a chart, and there it is, Morinus. And again, you can copy a chart and send it to an astrological friend of yours. So you can just copy the whole folder with horoscopes, or you can just copy the whole folder of the software, and your friend will have the same settings. Okay, next, so let's close this, and let's add his let's Angelina Jolie. Let's have a female as well. I'll show you why. Female, let's see, 4th of June 1975. 75 909, right? 909, Los Angeles, California. Now, I doubt we have Los Angeles. No, we don't. So we're gonna add it. Let's see, and so we have 118, 15. So I'm not gonna make this mistake again. And then we have 34, 3. Northern latitude. Time zone is minus because they're west of Greenwich, unlike my location. And then we add, and then again OK, and then pay attention here that it has, you can see it here, it has summertime. It's summertime. She was born in the summer in the United States. In most states they observe summertime, so we go like this: daylight saving, OK. Here it is. Quickly checking. Ascendant 2854, the moon is 1305. Ascendant 2853. Again, this is the difference of because Morinus doesn't have seconds, and the moon is 1305. Yes, accurate. But of course it's accurate because it's Swiss ephemeris. Again, I've been using the program, but I just wanted to have the confidence to use this program. Next, so let's save this planet, this chart. Angelina Jolie saved, and now let me show you about the thing about the lots. So when we go to the lots and we want to add to increase our list, let's add marriage females. So this is the traditional lot given by Hermes. We count from Venus to Saturn in a male chart. It doesn't change by night. So Venus to Saturn, it will be ascendant. I don't like this, but I mean, I prefer calling it traditionally because it's much easier. But so it will be ascendant plus Saturn minus Venus. Here it is, and then we click add, and there it is. And next let's add the lot called the second marriage lot. There are five actually, but these are the primary ones. I call it myself marriage Venus descendant, because I know when I see it, I know it's this lot does not it's used both in male and female nativities. So here we have from Venus to the descendant. Again, some Dorotheus, 1st century astrologer, he said to the 7th sign, but it's actually inaccurate. The correct way is to have the descendant degree or portion. So we count from Venus to the descendant, meaning ascendant plus descendant minus Venus. It does not reverse. Here it is. And then let me add the marriage males, which is from Saturn to Venus. So we would have plus Venus minus Saturn. Now I'm not gonna, so pay attention here. When we select a lot here, I will skip marriage males, you will see why, and click OK. Now if we want to check all the lots that we have, we go here to lots, tables, lots, or just Control plus F3. And these are all the lots that we have selected. So with lots I did not select marriage males. Now why? Because I want to see the lots in the chart. And by the way, you can't do this with the modern version. You can't do this with the modern version because this was a later addition, extremely helpful addition. This is the modern version. Here I calculated it when I downloaded it when I made the video in my native Bulgarian language, using lots of people here in Bulgaria use Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, and being helpful, I decided to. But the modern version doesn't have Firdaria, etc., etc. Anyhow, so here we go to options, appearance, and here you see it's selected none. Go to lots and then press OK. Now it will show you the lot of fortune is always shown as it should be because it's the second ascendant in ancient astrology. But now it's showing you the lots that you have selected to be shown. Here is lots. If we remove marriage females, this will disappear. Pay attention. Yes. So yes, let's get it back. Here marriage females, and how do we know that the program calculates them correctly? Well, the program can't really make a mistake but nevertheless we should check. So with female marriage, we count from Venus to Saturn. So Venus to Saturn, it's about 11 degrees. So because we are calculating it in the opposite direction, we go in the same direction. We're not calculating it zodiacally. So Venus, so we subtract 11 degrees from the ascendant, and again pressing F1, the ascendant is 28. 28 minus 11 is about 18. Again, I'm not accounting for the minutes. Here Venus to descendant, Venus is 28, so it's opposition plus something, and it comes, so the ascendant is from 28.53 comes to 29 something, because this is for the minutes. Correct, of course it's correct. Next, let's go to fixed stars. Now it will show you the let's see, fixed stars. Why is it not showing the stars? Here are the stars. Again, there are too many. Again, you can when you go to fixed stars here, you can have a list. You see how many have been selected, and now the chart looks like, you know. So let's remove the stars. Now also the 12 parts, extremely important in ancient astrology. We press dodekatemoria, and we have the 12 parts of. So we have a mini mini zodiac, we see that the ascendant falls in the 12th house. 12th house of secret societies, of illnesses, of you know, of imprisonment, suffering, etc. Okay, let's remove the 12 parts. Now, we have also Antiscia, very, very important. Here is the Antiscia. This is valid only for the tropical zodiac. The true fixed zodiac, as I showed in my video here with the rising times, my video about the sidereal and tropical zodiac. What you're not being taught is that, again, the rising times, Antiscia, etc., you can't use them in the sidereal zodiac because it no longer coincides with the tropical zodiac, the idealized zodiac. So let's keep it to none. Now, if we want to check some of the predictive techniques, let's see what we have. We have transits. Well, they shouldn't be here because transits is anyhow. We have transits. We have. So let's start with Profections. First things first. So this is Angelina Jolie. Let's go to 2011, for example. Here is the chart. We have Profections. If we want to, it's kind of opening like a electional module. When we fast forward 1 year or 1 month, etc., it's perfecting also. But I will not use this module. I will choose this one, because here when we go to tables, Profections, main significators of all planets, let's choose main significators. And here, this is the chart for 1975. So the first 12-year cycle, as you see, first place here, second place here, etc. So second 12-year cycle. These are the 5 main significators. And here, when we left click on the H to activate the monthly Profections, let's as I said, 2012. Let's do 2012 when she was 37. Let's double click, and now the monthly Profections is either 12 steps or 13 steps. Traditionally, most authors, almost all authors use 12 steps. Ptolemy, Paul of Alexandria, etc. use 13 steps. Let's do 12 steps. Now it will show you, it will break down the year, the 2012 year, the second place year, into 12 months, as you see here. For all the significators, extremely helpful. Okay, so these are the Profections. We have heliocentric. I'm not gonna bother with this. We have the syzygy chart, very useful to see where the sun, the prenatal syzygy falls. We have also the second one, the future one, where it will fall. We have a square chart, which is great. Unfortunately, for the square chart, I don't know why they did not fix this. If you're using quadrant houses, here the square chart is fine. You know, it's showing you. But if you want to use whole sign houses, the square chart is not. Does not show you the ascendant and the MC degree. And I myself prefer the Hellenistic chart format or the medieval one, because the round one is it's masking, it's not showing you the most important places immediately, and it's treating the chart as if all houses are the same in significance, which is dead wrong. And there is a reason why also the in Indian astrology they use a different chart. They use this chart format, although they place the ascendant here. When they use the South Indian chart, which is also not round. Anyhow, the round chart format also has its advantages in a way. Okay, let's see. Also, for appearance, when I don't want to see the houses, for example, I can do it like this. Now it's showing me. This is my favorite setting. As with Delphic Oracle myself, I also have it like this. You see, I've removed. Although let me put the quadrant division so I can see them here, and I can see them also here. But the point is that I want to see these pivots. I want the stakes, the pivots, the most energetic places of the chart, like this. And okay, let's see, tables, charts, secondary directions. So elections, very useful model. You can obviously use it for electional astrology. Okay, you know, fast forward, etc. Very useful. Although, yes, it's showing you. You can have a comparison between the nativity and the elections. You can have, you can see the positions where and you can have a square chart as well. Charts, elections, secondary directions. Yes, let's 25. Yes, it shows them. Then you can fast forward to backward. You can have sun transits. It's useful when the sun will be transiting any of these points. When you select, let's see, I wanna see when the sun will be transiting the MC, and let's press 2012 just for the sake of press OK. So first of all, we see that the MC is in Aries, about, what's that, 15-16 Aries, and the sun, so 17 Aries. So the sun will be conjunct exactly the MC, the 10th house cusp, on the, as you see, the 7th of April 2013. How do we know that it's 17? Pressing F1, see the MC is at 1752 Aries. Next, charts, revolutions, extremely useful and a must use technique. Let's do 2011 this time. 64. Here is the chart, the solar revolution for 2011, when she was 36, first place here, etc., etc. Of course, again, if you prefer to see the houses, you can see them like that. And if you want to, am I with whole signs or with quadrant? Yeah, if you want to. Next, transits. Yes. Let's see, did I miss something here? No. Yes, if you want to have the bounds of the terms inside the chart, you can have it like this. If you want to have not the bounds but the decans, you can have them like this in the chart. I don't want to see them. It's training my eyes, and I know them by heart, and I prefer my chart to be clean, and that's why I also don't have them here. I can have them here as well with the settings. Next, tables. Yes, miscellaneous. This is astronomical information. This is mundane positions. I'm not in. Yes, Antiscia aspects. Midpoints, I'm not interested in that. Rise and set times, this is useful. These are the ascensional times of the zodiac, of the images, extremely useful and a must use. Speeds, yes, very important to see whether a planet is slower or faster, especially if it's slower. Yes, and many astrologers forget that the moon can actually be retrograde, so to say. It cannot be physically retrograde, but when the moon is moving way too slow, it's actually considered as if it's retrograde, and it's one of the afflictions. It's given by I believe Bonatti, Sau, etc. For example, if you see a move right here, I noticed the moon moving at 12. The average daily motion is about 13.5, so this is extremely slow moon. It could be even, I've seen a moon below 12 degrees per day. Next, fixed stars. It will show you the selected fixed stars and their how they're called, their longitude, their latitude, right ascension, declination. Very useful. This software does not show parents though. Fixed star conjunctions, again depending on the orb you have selected, very useful. Lots, these are be careful here because you want to select all the lots, because, and now it will show you also marriage males, to show you like this, the longitude and the Victor or almuten. Next, 30-degree strip. This is not that significant. Planetary hours, extremely important. Sunrise, sunset for electional astrology, for horary astrology, for astrological magic, for whatever. Next, daily tasks, etc. Exact transits. Yes, you can use also that. Profections, I showed you the profections, how you use them. Use the speculum. No, this is not something. Firdaria. Yes, Firdaria. This is you can have it like this. You can have the chart and you can have Firdaria on the right. This is how I like to use them, and how and you can also do it like this. I mean, you can decrease depending on, again, I like it like I'm really used to having it like this, the ruler of the time method on the right, as it is also here in the Ophic Oracle. When I, for example, when I want to see Firdaria here like this, let's close this. Firdaria, okay. Primary directions, I showed you that again. Let's you can have, according to the settings, here that you have set, you can remove the terms, you can remove some of the aspects, you can yes, you can increase the significators or decrease them, you can do whatever you want, and it calculates them accurately. Let me say that because there, for example, Rumen Kolev's program is great. He was the first in the world for primary directions, but it's obviously it's expensive. I have one of his programs. I have bought it from him, but this software was developed by let me pay my my thanks and my gratitude by Robert, by Hungarian astrologer Robert from Budapest, Hungary, and there were also astrologers that helped a lot, like Peter Radek from the Czech Republic, Margherita Fiorello, I believe, from Italy, also Martin Gangsten, the Swedish academic and astrologer, might have helped as well. He's also he has a book on primary directions. Yes, but it was Rumen Kolev the first who cracked the code, so to say, for primary directions. Brilliant mathematician, Rumen Kolev, etc., etc. Astronomer, astrologer, translator, etc. Next, let's see, fixed stars. Well, folks, this is Synastry. Save as bitmap. You can let's say you can save a chart. I'm used to doing it with screenshots, but that's fine also. When you save the chart, it looks like this. Again, if you don't like the black and white, you can have it with color. You can almost do whatever you want. Really, really helpful. Let's see. So, like with solar revolutions, the second, the first minus, so to say, of this, the first con of this software is that it doesn't have an atlas. You're gonna have to keep checking and inputting. That's fine. If you have another program, you can take it from the program that has an inbuilt atlas. Another way is you can use astro.com, free Swiss website, and let's say you can. I'll provide this link, and when you press search, and it will show you a given record whether they have it. And here you will see the data, the time zone, and the coordinates, and this is how you input them. Very, very useful, because in some cases, again, you have to be careful with daylight, with summertime. This artificial and wrong summertime. It's in some states, in some countries, it's it's on, but it's not on in some years. But there's wartime, there's etc. Very careful with this. Next, I was gonna say about. So this is the first con. The second con is about the revolutions, and the B wheel is that, let's say we calculate a solar revolution, and we want to see it superimposed on the nativity. We go Windows, so right click Windows, and then comparison, not chart, comparison, and it will show you the nativity and then the solar revolution on the outside. However, it's not showing you the degrees of the planets of the second wheel, in this case of the solar revolution. It's showing you their placement. Yes, you can determine, for example, here that let's see, that Mars is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Mars is around 18 Taurus, because it's after the third, but it's not that easy on the eyes. So this, I would say, is a minus. Yes, it's showing you the ascendant and the houses around. As you see, this is the ascendant, the solar return ascendant is Pisces, and then this is the 12th house, the 11th, etc. Let's check Windows chart. As you see, the ascendant is late Pisces, and because I'm using quadrant divisions, it's showing you, if you obviously if you're using, for example, whole sign houses, and go by charts revolutions, do the same. Now the houses will, Windows comparison, see the houses. This is the first house, the 12th house is Aquarius, the 11th house is Capricorn, etc, etc. So yes, and this is the same wheel if we want to use for Synastry compatibility. Let's pick Brad Pitt and see how it goes. You see, Angelina Jolie is on the inside because this was the primary chart. You can reverse them, and Brad Pitt is on the outside, and we see that Brad Pitt's ascendant falls in the 6th house of Angelina Jolie, and vice versa. If we want to count from his ascendant, her ascendant falls in his 8th. Not good at all. Just one factor, but this is one of the worst, to have the ascendant in the 6th, 8th, or 12th of your partner. Okay. Yes, for charts options, I believe this is all, folks. Another find time, very useful. You can play detective here and reconstruct charts, or if you want, yeah, and very helpful. Also, let's see, there is a chart that's saved here, Morinus. If it switches to Morinus, and if we switch here, yes, we can go close and then load, and then there is the selected folder, horse. If you change the folder, make sure that you return it to, because if you go images, we don't have a chart here. Have it like this, and you'll be seeing the chart. Let's see what else. Yes, the third con is that this software does not show you the eclipses and also lunations. So you can't. You can check syzygy by syzygy, but it does not have a function whereby you can see a given eclipse, for example. And I will provide you with American astrologer Chris Brennan. He has a PDF on his website. I will provide a link where you can download, all credit to him obviously, whether you can download a list of solar and lunar eclipses from 1950 to 2030. A very useful list. So this was it, folks. I hope it was instructional. Let me say that I really love this software. As you see here, I'm not just I've been using it for over 10 years, and it's right next to my Delphic Oracle. This is my the version that I use. I mean, with all my settings, with all my over 1,000 charts. This is my Chinese astrology software. This is another software that I use that I'll be making a video about. And yes, so I hope it was instructional. If you like the video, if you like my channel, please like and subscribe. I started about 2 months ago, and slowly growing. And yeah, so if you have a question or a comment, I'll be glad to answer you. Thank you.